What protection should you wear at the bike park? Hi, I'm Guy. I've done hundreds of hours in Whistler Bike Park over the last 7 years, and I've had my fair share of injuries, including breaking my neck last year. So I think I'm qualified to talk about this. I hate seeing people get hurt unnecessarily. Let's talk about injuries, let's talk about prevention, and let's talk about protection. Injuries. The truth is accidents and injuries are going to happen. Mountain biking, and especially downhill mountain biking, is an extreme sport. There's been some studies on this. The BJSM in 2013 ran a study, and they basically came to the conclusion around 60 hours of riding equates to 1 injury. On an elite and pro level, the UCI World Championships ran a study following 230 pro and elite riders 2023 at Fort William in Scotland, and they came to a number of, for every 100 rides you get about 3 injuries. But you got to take into account, like, people are really sending it down lines fast as they can go, so naturally, you know, it's not really a fair comparison. For me, I can relate to the 60 hours of downhill riding to 1 injury. It is coming, and that's something you have to accept. But there are ways we can prevent them, and there are ways we can protect ourselves. So let's talk about prevention. To reduce the risk of injuries in mountain biking, the best thing you can do is ride well below your limits of what you're capable of. I see it as bringing up my lower base level, which will help me with the harder stuff. Rarely do I ride at a level that I'm really capable of. Where I got that from is I followed a lot of really famous mountain bikers. I've followed a few pros, and I've asked them, you know, you guys are capable of so much more. Why are you riding like this? They're like, because we want to enjoy the day. We're here at Whistler on holiday. We're taking it easy. That's number one. The best thing you can do, ride well below what you're capable of riding and take it easy. Number 2, practice crashing. There's a really good video by GMBN. Go to a park, practice crashing. And what that means is getting away from your bike. So when you're about to come off, you just got to get away, push it away, go and practice on some grass, practice rolling. That's really the best you can do. And the third one is what this video is really about, which is protective gear. Get the right protective gear and wear it. Protective gear is really the difference between walking away in the moment or having weeks off. It can be the difference between days of pain and months of pain. Just before we get into it, make your own decisions. Don't listen to an idiot like me on the internet. But maybe even if you're an experienced rider, perhaps listen what I have to say, because you might learn something new, and we're all learning from each other here. We're going to start with, what is the minimum? What is the absolute minimum you need for Whistler as in terms of what they mandate you must wear in order to get on the lift? And then I'm going to give you what I think is the minimum. And then we're going to go all the way down to what I'm calling the full RoboCop outfit. And that's pretty much what I'm wearing every time. So we're going to start from nothing to everything. For a bit of fun, I'm going to introduce my double, Jeff. Now, as you can see, Jeff is extremely tall and extremely handsome. Jeff here is extremely excited about his first day in Whistler Bike Park. So what Jeff has done is Jeff has bought a helmet as required by Whistler, a backpack with water and tools just in case, and a full swim outfit. So he's got his swim shorts on and his flip-flops. And some of you might be saying, do not be so ridiculous, Guy. No one would ever wear that. Well, it just so happens, a few years ago, I saw a whole group of Irish lads wear this, and they didn't make it to the bottom. And what is so funny about that story is I was telling an Irish colleague at work, you might get the connection, and he said, yeah, that was me and my friends. And you know what happened? Broken bones, broken bikes, they never went back. All of that is sad, all of it is unnecessary. They just didn't know. So I'm hoping this video finds those type of people. Don't be like Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. Let's start with losing that backpack. Most bike parks have tools, most bike parks have water, and it's something extra to carry around. You don't really need it. Let's get rid of that backpack and let's get a proper helmet. Obviously, I'm going to start with the most important thing, the helmet. What you might not know is Whistler does not mandate a full face helmet. You can go there with a normal enduro helmet. In fact, you can go there with a helmet that doesn't have any kind of rating. There's no minimum on the accreditations or the ratings of the helmet. Why do I use a Fox Proframe? Why haven't you got a full DH? Well, it's 35% lighter. That Fox Proframe is 840 grams. Their Rampage Carbon downhill helmet is 1300 grams. It's like a 35% saving. Concussions and necks are not good when you've got a lot of weight on your head. They are caused by the moving around. So And also it's more comfortable to ride a lighter helmet. This Proframe and the Rampage both have a ASTM F1952 accreditation, which is an accreditation for downhill helmets and is required for downhill races. This is the accreditation that you need to be looking at. There are a lot of accreditations in helmets. For this one, I'll probably post it here. This one is the most important. Pause this video, go and Google your helmet and see if it has the ASTM F1952. There's a little number after, depending on the year, but just make sure it has that accreditation. If it doesn't, I recommend going and buying one. Just go and do it. Full face, that's the minimum here, and make sure it has a DH accreditation. Downsides of this helmet, whilst all the holes are really nice for ventilation, the risk is that if you fall and a rock gets lodged in the hole, it might twist your head and neck and make things worse. That's why you'll see that proper downhill helmets are actually really flat on the sides. But this is one of those, what is comfortable versus everything else, and for me, it works. Some bit of research you might not know, gum shields actually really help with concussion. I don't wear a gum shield. Dr. Leatt is conducting some research about neck braces reducing concussion. Neck braces is obviously a quite close story to me, and I'd like to talk about that later in the video. So not there yet, but we'll get there. Next, we've got goggles. Bike parts can be dry, dusty and muddy for one thing, so you want to cover your eyes. I also recommend not getting clear goggles, getting stuff that's lightly tinted. For those who have gone over the Dirt Merchant step up in an afternoon, will know exactly what I mean. You get blinded by the light. Yeah, tinted goggles, full goggles in a bike park I'd recommend over doing glasses. Next up, knee pads. I recommend long knee pads. Cover as much as you can. You don't need to worry too much about comfort and movability because you're going down a hill at a bike park. I really like these RaceFace ones, but they don't make them anymore. But that's what we're going for here, as much cover as we can. Padded shorts. Go with padded shorts that have really good hip protection. This is one of the first things you hit when you fall over. That's it. Okay, pants. Protective, not pretty. That's all I can really say about pants. Don't buy a material that is just going to rip. Buy something that will slide. It's taken me quite a while to find a really good pair. I really like these. But yeah, we're going for a protective here. We're not going for something that's pretty. Shoes. Get rid of those flip-flops. Get rid of those DCs, get rid of some kind of athletic footwear. Buy something that is hardy. Buy something with a hard toe cap, because you'll be surprised how much your pedal gets stuck under your toe when you accidentally come off. Also, please consider soles. This is coming from someone who has borderline ruptured my foot pad because I jumped off, and it's a change that I really recommend. The soles that you get with pretty much any mountain bike boot are no good from what you can get aftermarket. So get a good sole, get a good shoe, worth it. Elbow pads, a completely underrated item in my opinion. For some reason within the mountain bike community, this is borderline a religious debate. Should you wear these, shouldn't you? I say you absolutely should, and I would say that if someone is saying, nah, don't worry about elbow pads, go and have a look at their elbows and give them a bit of a touch, see how they're getting on. I use these more than any other protection that I have. Why is that? It's because when I'm going down a trail, my arms are sticking out, I'm hitting trees, I'm hitting rocks. When I fall off, I tend to hit my elbows first. Highly recommended. Get an elbow pad. I've seen too many broken elbows. Just do it. Gloves. Bike parks are dry, rocky, and it really hurts when you come off without gloves because you will put your hand out and cut them. Just like myself and Jeff have done before without gloves. I recommend if you're going to get gloves, go for stuff with knuckles, go for stuff that's really protective. Don't just get a flimsy glove that is sort of a nice feel to grip. Get something that has protection. This is Guy's minimum for a bike park, and quite frankly this is the minimum that I would say you should wear on an enduro, minus perhaps the goggles, maybe change them for glasses and maybe change the pants for some shorts. Other than that, this is kind of what I would say would be a minimum if you're doing enduro, and yes, I would recommend a full face helmet. We are going full Robocop now, starting with wrist straps. Wrist straps I find are very restrictive. I will only really wear these if I'm either recovering from injury or I'm going to hit something very, very big. Ankle protection. Less restrictive than the wrist stuff. Wouldn't wear it all the time. I have broken my ankles. I have sprained them many times. I will wear these at the start of the season. I will wear them on big days. Outside of that, I'm trying to strengthen my ankles. I would recommend these if you were hitting bigger stuff, or like me, if you have weak ankles. angles. If you want to wear them all the time, great. Personally, I find them a little bit restrictive, but after injury, I'll happily wear them all season. Okay, we're going to go full Robocop now with a full jacket. This is chest, back, shoulders, elbows. This is something that I will not go to the park without. One of the reasons I got this is because I got a burn mark like this, and I decided I need to wear a bit more than a jersey. I haven't had one of those injuries since this, and frankly, this has saved me so much. The back protector that comes a bit up the spine, I think that really helped when I had my neck break. I think that reduced my severity. I really love the POC one. It is hot in the summer. It is something you get used to. It is a level 1, EN 1621-1. So the 1 means the level. So all round, back, front, elbow, shoulders is a level 1. There is a Leatt 6.5 chest protector. That is a level 2 for the back and the chest, and then a level 1 for the elbows and shoulders. I haven't tried one, but it looks a bit more restrictive, a bit harder to get on. I'd highly recommend one of these jackets. I think they are great. Neck braces. I've talked a lot about neck braces. I'm going to put some videos perhaps in the corner. One of these videos of why I wear a neck brace, and the other video is which one I have chosen to wear. Should you get a Leatt? Should you get an Airplus? There's only a few brands within this. Why I wanted to talk a bit more about the neck braces is it's really important you set these up properly, because if you don't, you could do more damage than necessary. For the Airplus Air, if you look on the side of this with Jeff, there is a 1.5 inch or 40 mil maximum gap. The distance there must be less than 1.5 or 40 mil. The other thing you've got to look at for both the Leatt and the Airplus braces is that they sit flat. They're not sitting like this. Jeff will demonstrate to the front, and they're not sitting all the way to the back. They're just sat in the middle. Both of them have adjustments to sort that out. Start with that and then work with the measurements. Make sure you get the right size. On both the Leatt and Airplus, you've got to measure your chest, and then you can work out what size you've got. So the Leatt requires a bit more setup. We're not measuring the sides here, we're measuring the distance from the chin and the back of the helmet to the neck brace. On the chin, from the bottom of the chin to the neck brace at the front, a 50 to 130 mil area of touch point, and on the back, there needs to be a 50 to 150 mils of touch points. Why is that? If you were to jack up your chin strap all the way, you're more than likely to get a head injury, because there is no slowdown for when you roll forward. If it is too low, you're not going to protect your neck. You're not going to slow it down before the point of break. So you have to get this right. For neck braces, if you are going big, steep, fast, highly recommend a neck brace. Or if you're pushing limits, I recommend a neck brace. Or if you're just worried and don't want to end up like me with a broken neck, highly recommend a neck brace. I'll refer to my other videos if you'd like to look at which one to buy. And the final item, a long sleeve shirt with your favorite branding and design. I recommend a long sleeve shirt to protect yourself from the sun and to cover up areas that you might graze or hit if you come off. Highly recommend a long sleeve shirt. Yes, the cost is a little hotter, but these things are generally breathable. And you can look as cool as Jeff. Now, if you do see Jeff or someone dressed like Jeff in the bike park, make sure you commend them for wearing a load of safety protection and keep the good vibes going. Jeff here is very sad because he doesn't get much feedback from his YouTube channel, so he would really appreciate it if you comment on what you liked about this video, what you think about the protective clothing, or whatever you feel like. Jeff and I hope to see you all protective up in the bike park. I hope you enjoyed that video. Hope it was useful. Thank you very much for watching and being here until the end, and I'll see you on the next one.